Welcome to the Flint Tropics edition of the Postgame show. I am here with the elite group of interns that we picked to do the best postgame show that there ever was. I'm with Quinn, Amanda, and Anna. Hope you guys are doing good. I know it's a kind of nice summer day out, so we'll get through this quick. It was a great week of Legacy League basketball. We had some upsets, some people might say, a few big games here and there, but shout out my Flint Tropics. Those boys came back in the league and got the job done. So we're just going to start off with that game. I'll really get right into it. I know Joey isn't looking forward to that, but as you can see here on my screen, Flint ended up taking down Run TMC 63-46, and it really wasn't close for a majority of the game. I know in the first few quarters, TMC was kind of, hanging in there with Flint for a little bit, but it was just not TMC's day. I mean, 29% from three, 41% from the field. I mean, you really don't see a lot of these guys shoot that poorly. I mean, Eric Langston had one of his worst games. Craig Chandler didn't really look like he was getting in rhythm, and Reggie Stewart just wasn't really finding it. And as far as Flint, I mean, look, this is what Flint does. Nick Jabs is probably the MVP right now, in my opinion. He's just playing unreal. TJ Gianni is one of the best shooters in this league, and Flint's they're a team. I think that Flint epitomizes Legacy League's basketball. I said it before. There's a lot of teams in the past, the No Limits, Rzinski's one of Rzinski's Shockers teams, not the ones that won the championship, but there's a lot of teams that just come in and put a bunch of talent together. And I think that's what you could say about Run TMC. But Flint Tropics, they're a team. They're a bona fide team. They're brothers. They're playing for each other out there. And that's what you get when there's no one's selfish. It's just no egos. And that's Flint Tropic basketball. That's what we do, baby. And they ended up taking down Run TMC. It was a good game, but in the end, I think Nick Jab's inside presence was just too much for TMC. And going forward, they're going to have to really figure out what they're going to do in the paint to, stop a stronger team that ended up being the Flint Tropics in that one. So next, we will go to the Get Money boys taking down Back Outside boys. This was a closer game. The next few games are going to be a lot closer, so we'll kind of go in a little more in depth on those, but I'm going to start with you, Quinn. What did you see from these Get Money boys, and how did they end up taking this one in a close battle?
I mean, the stats show it. It's the three brothers that sort of led the way for Get Money, and that sort of shows where the team's at. They just have that chemistry there, which pretty much helps them win these games. And even with someone like Kyle Davis, one of their best players, not having the best day, and them still winning, that sort of shows how good this team is, how many players can perform well and how many can't, and they're still winning. And for Back Outside boys, some good games for Kyle and Alex, but it was mainly the three-point shooting that killed them, 2 for 18, and that sort of, you can't have that against this Get Money team. Even though there were signs of life for Back Outside boys, the three-point shooting pretty much just ended their day for them, and hopefully they're able to improve that for the next game.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. Three-point shooting is something that's huge in this league. What about you, Amanda? What did you see?
I feel like the second quarter really played a big role in the final score since the Back Outside boys only scored 5 points overall. And even though Get Money already had a 3-point lead at that point, the other two quarters were kind of close, especially the fourth quarter, the third not so much. But I think the fact that they couldn't really get many points up there in the second kind of gave Get Money a bigger lead than they already had before.
Yeah, no, I mean, especially, shout out Get Money. They're playing tough and they're hanging in there and they're winning their games. They got to win. It might be ugly, but they're getting the job done. Anna, close us off. What'd you see?
Sorry, I was on mute.
Yeah,
just
fine. Don't worry about it.
Kind of everything that they're saying is, second quarter, they had the scores, they had the people they had the chemistry, like they said, the brothers. They just came back and held them to it, and that's how it went.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's really like the brothers. They're a dynamic trio, those three. And, it's kind of like what Quinn said. It's really good to see that when Kyle Davis has an off night, which, everyone does, we're not perfect. It's good to see that someone else can step up and kind of take the load that, Kyle would end up, having to do usually. And that's just this get money team. I really think they're going to be a team that comes on really strong at the end of the year. I like the way they play. They play aggressive, and they're a good team. And I haven't really seen Sheen or Tyron really have a great game this year, and I know that's coming. I know next week I think they play Flint. And that is, sorry, excuse me, they play TMC next week. So that is going to be a really good test for them. And I expect them to come out firing. And that's going to be a really good one. But just for the back outside boys, keep your head up, guys. You guys are playing really well. You're fighting. You guys really got something special brewing there. So just keep pushing. And we'll see you next week against Snipe Squad, which is a very winnable game. But speaking of Snipe Squad, we had Snipe Squad going up against Family First in the next game, and this was another close game. Got a little heated at the end, a little push and shoving, classic baseball fight. But Family First ended up taking it 63-54. Shout out my guy Rico Santiago. When he plays well, he is a problem out there, and he really sets the tone for this team. And when he gets going, the rest of his guys follow. And they really took it to Snipe Squad. It was very, very hard fought. There was a lot of hard vowels. The paint, it was a battle down there. But in the end, Family First taken. I just want to give a shout out to Angelo and Tim. They continue to do their thing. I know that Snipe Squad had a new guy, Dom, who pitched in 11, but it's good to see that a few other guys at Snipe Squad are helping out the two stars. But yeah, Amanda, what did you see in this Snipe Squad Family First game that maybe caught your eye, or just what did you see from them?
Yeah, I mean, back to what you said before with Angelo and Tim, they're kind of the main scorers of the team. Everyone else doesn't really put up as much points as they do. And I want to say I watched Snipe Squad all 3 weeks or maybe 2 weeks, and it's just been consistently those two. So I feel like they kind of need to, I feel like the whole team just kind of needs to figure out a way to work together instead of just relying on two people because the game is close most of the time, but then they just fall short at the end. And I mean, they
Mhm.
have the passion. I mean, they were yelling at the other team like at the end, as you said, it got heated. It was, I mean, it was kind of entertaining for me. It was fun, but they just kind of got too riled up and then it didn't pay off, I guess.
Yeah, no, I mean that'll happen, and especially in sports. You can't let the emotion overcome you. And I think there was just a little too much emotion from Snipe Squad. They let the anger get the best of them. And Family First has players who have been here before, like Rico and everyone, and it's just a little bit experience that kind of helped them get over the top here. It was a really good game. So shout out my guy Rico. Shout out Family First for taking it. It's never easy in this league, and that's a great example of it. We'll go to our next game and our final game of the week, and it was Trailblazers Biggest Skis. I know the score looks like a blowout. It wasn't as bad as the score makes it seem. Uh, Biggest Skis just really couldn't handle the size of Trailblazers, but I'll throw it over to you, Quinn. What did you see from Skis Trailblazers that caught your eye, or maybe gave you a reason to pause?
I mean, you said it perfectly. I felt like the game was a lot closer than what the stats show. But I mean, the Moorheads led the way for them. 17 points for Justin, a double double for Jordan, um, and then it was sort of the same thing for that I said for the back outside boys. Shot 4 for 22 from three, and that's sort of what killed them against this Trailblazers team. And as for the Trailblazers, Chapman led the way for them. And, at the start of the fourth, he hit a few threes, he hit a few other shots, and that sort of is what helped them in that fourth quarter. But overall, I've watched this team the past 2 weeks, and I'm really high on them. I think they have a good shot, and the main reason for that is I think Sean Seda is really carrying this team. The stats might not be crazy for him, but when he's out on that court, his playmaking and just him being out there really helps the team overall. And I think that this team has a really good shot making the playoffs, making a run, and possibly winning it all.
Yeah, no, just a quick side fact. The team won the league last year was Yaga, and one of their players, Chris Rosinski's, won 3 rings in the league, and he said that Trailblazers from day one was his sleeper, and it looks like he was making the right choice because I agree with Quinn. I think they're really treading in the right direction. But Anna, what about you? What did you see from this game that, really made you go, hold up, I'm seeing something here?
I really agree. I think that it was tough to watch how the game ended because
Hmm.
I was rooting for Biggest Skis because they're kind of the underdog. They're trailing behind in the stats, and so to see him keep a good fight second, and even the third, they kept with them with the 12 points for both teams in the third. And in the fourth, they just couldn't hang. It got really bad, I would want to say, in like the last 2 minutes. I think they just, Trailblazers went ahead, kind of blew them out of the water the last couple minutes. So that was tough to see, but I think it was a really good game. The Trailblazers are a really strong team, but it was fun to watch the biggest C's like hang with them for the majority of the game. It was a disappointing loss at the end of it.
Yeah. I think Skis would agree with you. It's a disappointing loss. Pratt, who was reffing the game, was telling me throughout the game, they didn't hit their free throws this game. And if you look at the free throw percentage, Trailblazers were 6 for 11, 10 to 12. It looks like they were really hitting them, but I think that free throws is something that really doesn't get discussed in this league a lot because it's all about dunks, the highlights, the threes, and you got to get those free points. You got to make those layups, and I just think in this game, Trailblazers were making their layups. They were hitting the open threes. They were hitting the big shots that really were needed to take down this biggest Skis team. But I could see these two playing again in the playoffs. Absolutely, this screams to me like a 4-5 matchup or maybe a 6-3 matchup. I could absolutely see it. But shout out these two teams. Biggest Skis, just keep doing your thing. You guys are really you got to just keep your head up and keep going in this league. A few losses here and there don't really define a season, so just kind of keep going with that. As far as the rest of the week, we got a great week next week. We got TMC Get Money, Trailblazers Flint, back outside Snipe Squad. There's going to be some good games. Get Money TMC is going to be a nice blockbuster one, so get your popcorn ready for that one. And I'm going to throw in a fun question here because Joey wants something. So I'm going to put you guys on the spot, but it has nothing to do with Legacy League, so this should be kind of easy. I'll start with you, Quinn, and we'll go Amanda, Anna. All you have to do is favorite summertime drink. Can be alcoholic or
Ooh.
non-alcoholic. I don't care.
I'll probably go with the basic. I go to Florida sometimes over the summer, and I like sitting by the pool drinking a nice pina colada, so I'll go with that.
That's a good one. That's a good one. All right, Amanda.
I'll probably go with iced tea. I feel like it's just
Mm.
simple, classic.
Yeah, simple gets the job done. All right, Anna.
I'm gonna go lemonade.
Okay, so some iced tea. All right, I like it. I like that. I'm gonna copy Quinn and go like something lemonade with some type of alcohol by the beach. But that's a good way to end it because it's a beautiful summer day. We had some beautiful Legacy Leagues basketball last week, and then we'll have some amazing games for you guys next week. For me, Greg, Quinn, Amanda, Anna, shout out to my boy Flint Tropics. My boys, they did their job. They took down Joey, and I know that they thrive when Joey's crying over a loss. So shout out to my guys Flint. For all the interns and everyone, we appreciate you. We appreciate the fans, and yeah. It's really been a pleasure, guys, and this was a great post-game show. Appreciate you all.